Unit 7, Lesson 2 homework with, obviously, me, Miss Billman. There are only 4 questions on this. Hooray! But we will be using what we've learned in this unit. Grammy, Susie's recipe for summer salad, is 2 cucumbers for every 3 tomatoes. How many tomatoes are in a salad with 5 cucumbers? So this one's not just, well, what happened to the 2 to get 5? Or it doesn't happen like that. So let's set up our 2 columns, 3 rows, right? Remember that it's the original ratio, rate per 1, and the missing value. So I'm going to label it TC, tomatoes and cucumbers. So we know it's 2 cucumbers for every 3 tomatoes. Wrote that in there. And their total of how many tomatoes in a salad with 5 cucumbers? My 2 goes in my 5, so my 1 goes in the middle. So I divide 2 by 2 to get 1, and then I multiply 1 by 5 to get 5. I always write this out so I can go back and observe my thinking. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. 3 divided by 2 is 3 over 2, and I multiply that by 5, and I get 15 over 2. Now, I could leave my answer 15 over 2. Absolutely, that would be fine. Or I could write 7 1/2 if I wanted to take it to a mixed number. Either way, that's fine. If you are nervous about going to a mixed number, I totally understand. But at least get to that 15 over 2. So 7 1/2 tomatoes. 18 of Susan's muffins weigh the same as 15 of Tom's muffins. How many of Susan's muffins weigh the same as 7 of Tom's muffins? So let's do it again. Here we go. You know, the more you do this, the easier it becomes. 2 columns, 3 rows. Now I could label these S and T for Susan's and Tom's. I could do T and S. Either way, it's going to work. So Susan's 18 to 15 of Tom's muffins. So 18 to 15. Now I'm looking for Susan's muffins. So my 7 of Tom's is going to go in Tom's column with a 1 in the middle. I divide 15 by 15 to get 1. Again, writing my thinking out. And then I multiplied by 7 to get 7. I do the same thing to the other side. I divide 18 by 15 and get 18 over 15. And then I need to multiply by 7, which I'm going to actually, you'll see me go off to the side and multiply it. 18 multiplied by 7, well, 7 times 8 is 56. Carry the 5. 7 multiplied by 1 is 7. Plus 5 is 12. 126 fifteenths. Now, I'm going to divide it to try and get to some kind of, hopefully, whole number. 15 can go into 12, but if I'm thinking of a number ending with like a 6 or so, I'm going to go with 8. Then I end up getting 120. So I have 6 left over. So I could say 8 and 6 fifteenths, or I could go even lower, 8 and 2/5. So 8 and 2/5 of Susan's muffins in weight are equal to that of Tom's. Wow, those are some heavy muffins. Or maybe they're light. Foster Publishers Printing Press can print 5 dictionaries in 8 minutes. How many dictionaries can it print in 10 minutes? Let's set it up again. One row will be for a dictionary, or one column, excuse me. One column will be for dictionaries. The other column will be for time or minutes, either way. So 5 dictionaries in 8 minutes. I put down my 10 and my 1 in my middle. To go from 8 to 1, I divided by 8. 1 to 10, I multiplied by 10. I do the same thing to the other side. 5 divided by 8 is 5 over 8. Multiply that by 10. And I get 50 over 8. I'm going to try and go for a mixed number. Well, I know 8 multiplied by 6 is 48, right? And I could have 2 left over. So 6 and 2/8, or I could say 6 and 1/4 would be really the answer. Again, if you feel comfortable, just going to the improper fraction, but it's the same answer, that's great too, but really do try. A turtle crawled 21 meters in 12 minutes. That's faster than I would go. How long did it take her to crawl 14 meters? If she crawled the same rate. 2 columns, 3 rows. We set it up in meters and minutes, or meters and time, distance and time. Either way, crawl and time. So she crawled 21 meters in 12 minutes. We want to know how long it took her to crawl 14 meters. So 21 divided by 21 equals 1. And we put that in the middle. And then 14 multiplied by 1 is 14. I do the same thing to the other side. This ends up being 12 over 21. And then I'm going to multiply by 14. The 12 only. Because the 14 is like saying 14 over 1. So 12 times 14. Whew, okay, I'm going to need to set this one up on the side. I know my denominator will be 21 if that helps. But my 12s, I know, I could do 12 times 12, that's 144, and I could add to that, or I could just set it up like this. So 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 1 is 4, put down a 0, and I end up getting 168 over 21. I'm going to try and get a whole number, hopefully. Now, looking at the solid number, I already know 8 is going to be my answer. Why? Because 8 multiplied by 1 is 8, and 8 multiplied by 2 is 16. I could get 168 right there, and it all worked out. So, in 8 minutes, that turtle crawled 14 meters. Wow, that's impressive.